What's good, my Zesty Women's? It is I, Lee, and thank you so much for stopping by Zesty Tarot. I'm not feeling the best. I have one of those colds or whatever that virus was where you'll get better, but then the cough comes. So if it gets to the point to where I cannot continue because I'm going to have a coughing episode back to back, because remember the last one, it was so embarrassing. But anyways, I'm just going to end it with whatever is going on. So let's just go ahead and get into it right now. This is for Gemini's, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus of Gemini. And we're going to see what you need to know at this time. Again, I apologize for the delay because I was sick. And like I said, it seems to want to come back and harass me some more. If this is your first time watching me, welcome. I appreciate you for being here. Alright. God, thank you so much for this opportunity to read for Gemini. I pray that my readings are concise and accurate. I pray that this reading will touch on things that the person needs to know. So this is targeted towards those that need to hear this message, okay? So with that in mind, if it doesn't resonate for you, that's okay. If none of the other signs resonate, you're more than welcome to check out another reader. I promise you I will not be offended. Anybody that has a problem with the message that I deliver, any type of negative energy towards me, we will send that right back to the sender because we don't have time for that. Okay? Alright. Get a good grip on this. Alright, the first one came out. And it says, give yourself credit for this, give yourself credit for doing a good job at this whole living thing. Okay. So, for those that are having a hard time giving yourself props, I feel like God, the universe, is saying like, hey, you're doing a fabulous job out here for someone that has suffered through what they are going through. For some individuals, you make that look really easy. You may not think so. Like, I don't see how y'all could think that I'm making this look easy when I don't feel like it, but you know, it's just the way that you're handling the stress. I mean, for all I know, you might just be chilling and keeping your mouth quiet, you know what I mean? Like, some individuals, they have to vocalize their frustration, but you're just sitting there acting as though nothing is bothering you, even though you're tore up inside. So, but it's saying, for what it's worth, make sure that you do give yourself credit for doing excuse me, there it goes for doing a good job at taking these punches. And nobody wants to hear that. Like, I don't want to be commended for getting my butt kicked by life, but please believe that you're not the only one, because we get our asses kicked every day. Just different things kick our ass, but it's about how we handle it. So the next card is take responsibility for your choices. This is your life to live. Own it. And I feel that with this, it's saying, like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, the challenge is accepting whatever was going on in your life. Your challenge is accepting the fact that in some regards, and this is probably going to be a trigger for some, and I'm not trying to come at you this way, but some of this has a lot to do with you needing to take accountability and acknowledging, hey, this wouldn't have happened, whether it's good or bad, if I wouldn't have made that choice. Or if I knew that this person was cheating and I decided to deal with them anyways, and now here I am in this situation. You know, that's just how it is. Like, we have to take accountability for our actions. Yeah, we're dealing with somebody that might be a butthole. We might be dealing with a company that is very greedy, but you have the choice of walking away. So I feel that it's very important for you to take control over your life. That's the challenge. You feel like you're playing someone else's game, that you don't have an option because you're put in a situation where you have to bend to their rules. Well, honey, rules have been made to be broken. So you need to activate that little rebel in you and be like, look, I ain't playing by your rules no more. It's not making me happy. I don't want to do it no more. I feel like I'm being breadcrumbed. You promised me this, and I believed you. The joke was on me, but I'm getting up out. And of course, this would go flying. It says, when you find something that excites you, go all in and enjoy the ride. So, yeah, I'm getting a sense that you were going along with somebody else's dream or detour, if you will, and it's not suitable for you. And this is based upon yourself. Every little step you take, no Bobby Brown, could be a calculated one. And I feel that, okay, so when it says, when you find something that excites you, go all in and enjoy the ride, this could be pertaining to a career or a new passion. But you're never going to know how that's going to turn out for you unless you try. So for some of you that feel that life is hopeless and you're bound to be in this destitute environment because you seem to not be able to catch a break, the devil is a lie. Okay? And we're going to rebuke that mentality right now, because there is so much more to you. You have resilience. You're just scared to use it. Look, it says, well, you can't see it. It says to stop looking outside of yourself for the answers. You already know them. So, we're going to see if I can tap into what this is pertaining to. But overall, I feel like you should stop asking people what... you should stop asking individuals about things that excites you. That's like me going to someone, an auto connoisseur. Like, they are all about, I don't know, that's how you know I don't know anything about cars like that. But that's like me going up to them and then asking them what they think about me becoming a pop idol. They'll be like, girl, I don't, what you asking me for? I don't know. I mean, do you want to do it? If you do, then do it. And I feel like the only reason why we do this, I mean, some of you very well may be confused, but at the end of the day, I think it has a lot to do with fear of success, fear of failure. It has a lot to do with someone making you feel like you weren't capable of doing things that make you happy. So it's time to check that energy and be like, you know what? I'm not going to allow this to hold me back. I deserve everything that I'm hoping for. And I deserve to go after them without somebody trying to stop me and question me. So and I love how in this day and age, that's a constant reminder. Can you see? Sorry. There we go. In this day and age, it's a constant reminder of how important it is to keep things that we desire close to home. We don't have time to be allowing ourselves to talk ourselves out of our dreams. That's just not fair. Sorry about my phone going crazy over there. I should have silenced it. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it to see what this is talking about. God, can you tell me why you chose these cards? All right. Yeah, I hope that everyone is doing well and y'all are healthy, because whatever is going around is not cool. All right, so we have the Five of Cups here. So there's some sadness, possible depression. I'm going to say there is depression, sadness, depression here, some regret. And you feel incapable. I don't know what has happened in your life that has burdened your heart, but I rebuke that. And I pray that you can see how important you are and how valuable you are. This is only a 5. This is a challenge. This is an emotional challenge. But I do believe that you're going to break through. Those regrets, you can only feel sorry for yourself for a certain amount of time. Moping, I hate to say it like that, because there are some individuals that are moping. I can say that because I've done this, okay? But moping around is not going to get you any closer to your goals. You need to open up those windows, and you need to let some sunlight into your space. You need to clean up your apartment, your house. Okay? You need to change your clothes. You need to bathe. You gotta get yourself back into motion. And if you are getting a little bit of money here and there, do something physical for yourself. For example, find something like getting your nails or your toes done, getting your eyebrows done, or buy flowers, anything to help you to remain in that energy. Because right now, I see you sitting here and you're going through it emotionally. I feel like you are also emotionally closed off. Because on one side, we have these options where we want to, there's something in the background, there's a building in the background, but on the other side, there's nothing. So I kind of feel like this is one of those cases of seeing the glass half full or half empty. But how about just looking at it for what it is? It's a glass. A glass that you can put water in. Creative water. Or a glass that can collect your tears. So which is it gonna be? We have the Ten of Wands, and it says to take responsibility for your choices. This is your life to live. So with the Ten of Wands, I feel like this is saying you have the ability to put an end to this overindulgence of stress. Maybe now is a time for you to learn how to say no. You know, I got on some, not gonna say I got on them, but I asked someone if they would be down to help me mount my TV on my wall. And I just randomly asked the person, anybody that knew how to do it, hey. And I asked him if he could do it. He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, would you be down to help me? He was like, sure. Only thing you really need is a stud finder. Okay, cool. And so he was like, the thing is, you're gonna have to pick me up. Okay, that's fine with me. You know, if that means I'm gonna get my TV, cool. But long story short, he stood me up, and I sat there waiting. Even, you know, I was like, hey, are you ready? I told you I was gonna call, and are you ready? Didn't do anything. And he responded to me late last night. Said that he apologized, he failed, and there's no excuses. And so I was just like, well, all you have to do is just say no. If you didn't want to do it, you could have just said no. You don't have to do things because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. And oftentimes we get caught up in that vortex. If you're not in the mood to do it, let them find somebody else. If somebody is trying to pressure you into doing something, you could say no. If push comes to shove, you could turn your phone off until they understand that whatever they're going through is their responsibility. Because I can also feel that when it comes to being there for people, it's one-sided. No one is hardly there for you when you're going through things. And that's probably why you're sitting here right now. Because you're surrounded by individuals that don't want to help you when you need it, but they expect for you to be there for them. That's not how that works. So the best way to handle this is to put some of that down. You see how she's carrying all those boxes? Put them down. Whether it's your own burdens or somebody else's, put them down and take a break. Lighten your load one step at a time, okay? I also feel that this is also saying that you do not have to have everything at once. There's a reason for moderation. The next card we have is the Seven of Swords, okay? So with when you find something that excites you, go all in and enjoy the ride. I feel that you are deceiving yourself. You're talking yourself out of doing these things, and it's simply because this is based off of fear-based energy. You are looking at the monetary version of success, and it's blinding you from seeing that you are in fact successful. I know this is going to be cheesy and some of y'all might roll your eyes at me, but you successfully woke up this morning. Despite what hardships you went through, you are still pushing forward That's courage. That's resilience. I can tell that you have a small amount of trust. Even though you're still holding on, is what I'm trying to say. That mustard seed, if you will. You don't want to give up entirely because truly it's not in your DNA to. And the reason why you keep going back to this particular thing is because it's calling to you. And whoever is surrounding you that is making you feel like your dreams or your goals are far-fetched, you gotta adjust. You gotta move some stuff around there, right? Bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So how I look at this is when it says to stop looking to others to basically help you. It's not going to happen. This is the time where you're going to have to realize that no one is going to save you but yourself. Yes, you will if you get out of that impoverished mindset and attract like-minded individuals that would be willing to help you. I think that your journey would be easier. But first you have to tackle this right here. This Five of Cups energy. So she has 2 cups sitting right here. So let's say hypothetically you purchased your first home, but you realized that there was more to it. Maybe you purchased a home knowing that you couldn't afford it. Or you just wanted to live the aesthetics that you see on social media. So now you're kicking yourself in the behind because you consider yourself a failure at keeping a home. Or maybe you feel that you're a failure because of a relationship that did not work out. The only thing that I can say on that is if you do have a part in why these situations happened, it's just best for you to take accountability for it, take the lesson that you learned from it, and move on. That's all you can do. But don't allow the Seven of Swords energy and the 10 of Wands energy to boggle you down. Because of this regret, I feel a sense of overcompensating to try to make up for things. And that is what's going to put you in the limelight of being taken advantage of. The Seven of Swords energy is going to put you in the limelight of being petrified of moving forward, because then you're going to have that imposter syndrome. So you're stealing from yourself. You're storing them away. Just like this woman right here is doing. Well, the Seven of Swords represents thievery. But we also know that the Seven of Swords represents the intellect, thought patterns, thought process. It could also represent physical thievery. But how I look at this is that these ideas that she has to showcase, she's getting insecure and she's putting them back in her bag, like, maybe I should keep this one because I'm not sure if anybody would care about this. But then she looks at the wall again and she starts to take them all down. You see what I'm saying? So don't allow that. Now, going back to the Wheel of Fortune, I feel that the Wheel of Fortune is saying, yes, be aware that what comes up or what goes up must come down. So this period is just a form of letting you know that there might have been some missed opportunities. Things may have been mishandled, but what's meant for you is going to come back around. This is a divine will. The 10 of the 10. So I feel like there's going to be a completion. You're going to complete whatever it is that you were longing to complete. Just understand that life is life at. Life can be very tricky. It may not make sense as to why 1 second everything was good and then boom. But them circumstances just happens to happen to us. It's nothing spiritual against you. It's just the way that life is. And if there is a lesson to be taught here, then it's through the actions and the choices that you've made prior to. And only you will know what that represents. There was some overindulgence. For some of you, I see this as someone actually broke in your house and took things. It could have been an ex. It could have been just some regular robber trying to take things from you. And now you're petrified and you don't know what to do, which I completely understand that. Because once you break in my house, you know, and there's no going back. But I wouldn't be sitting here. Sometimes we'd be so exhausted we forget to lock our doors. Or we don't go around the apartments or the house to make sure that the windows are tightly sealed. Or maybe we forgot to turn on our Ring camera. Whatever the case may be. Unfortunately, it happened. But these 2 extra cups here, because I see the ones on the floor, that represents that you're going to have another opportunity. It may not be with the same person. It may not be with the building or the job, but it's going to come back to you in a different form. Different person, different job. You see what I'm saying? So life is always going to put out those lessons, whether you want them or not, you know? All right, so we have the Page of Wands here. And this is a curious little being, you know? So for some of you, I'm getting this message that's because the messenger, the Page of Wands can represent a messenger. So maybe you're waiting to respond or hear a response from someone, or maybe you're kind of contemplating on whether or not you want to reach out to someone, but the confidence is lacking right now. We have the 9 of Swords here. So yeah, you're going through some heavy stuff right now. And like I said, this could be your own burdens, or this could be someone else and you feel the need to overcompensate because there is that guilt and that regret. And I need you to understand that this is all in your head. There's no need to create what if scenarios that is going to leave you paralyzed. That's not fair to yourself. We have the Ace of Swords here. So there is some sort of victory. There is a breakthrough. This is communication and clarity. I hear clarity very strongly. So you might be in a period of fog. Now, mind you, we just got past the retrograde. We are in the shadow period, so things are starting to settle down. Still a little chaotic, but not as much when the retrograde was happening. So I feel that there's going to be a victory of some sort for you, whether it is someone coming to apologize to you, someone being discovered for breaking into your house, and thrown in jail, action being taken there. This could be reconciliation of some sort. This could be you finding a job, you know, anything that pertains to things looking up from the Wheel of Fortune standpoint. That's you, okay? Look, this is, so basically this is saying that these burdens that you're carrying, you won't have to anymore. The challenge was at one point that you were carrying everybody else's burdens, being a people pleaser, and you're like, I'm not doing that no more. You're not even going to do that with yourself because you understand. Look at how excruciating this looks. This is making my back hurt. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, I can't do this. Not for you. And I'm not going to do this for me. Like, I'm not going to allow myself to put unnecessary pressure when I know that I'm limited in some regards. And I'm not saying it in a negative way. So, for example, I had a stroke. Okay, so I had to be very careful. I can push through it, but that's going to leave me more exhausted, because when you survive something like that, you're constantly you're checked out. I can only do so much. You know, and even with life, things appear to be fast-paced and they expect for you to get on the ride. No. That's only for those that can handle that fast-paced movement. You can move at a snail's pace if need be, just as long as you're moving. Okay? Let's see what else this is talking about. And then we're going to close this out with some oracle. Yeah, so a lot of this I see is in your head. It's a combination of it being in your head and, you know, the lack of communication. There's definitely some misunderstandings going on here. Or just overall stress. But it's not fair to you to take on that responsibility by yourself. Because I'm pretty sure you're not the only party. So why should you carry this weight? Why should you be the only one stressing about things? And how I look at it is, if they ain't caring about it, then shit, you shouldn't either. But I get that's how you are. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you're the one that's on the mature side and they're just they're the type to wing it. But you're like, no, this is serious. And they're like, yeah, well, what can you do about it? I mean, yeah, I get that, but that kind of shows you who they are, right? So we have the High Priestess here. And so I feel like with the High Priestess, what she's saying to you is intuitively, you already know what time it is here, which it already said in this one right here. You already know the answer. Just a second. Oh, you know what? I think I was supposed to go somewhere and I forgot what day it was. Give me 1 second. Hey y'all, I'm back. So I was supposed to take my daughter to her therapy session and I totally forgot that today was Friday. Because, you know, Labor Day just throws everything off. But I was able to do what I needed to do. All right. So let me remember where I started off, because I'm actually coming back into this at a later time. So I think, okay, so basically, okay, so we started with this might hurt tarot, sorry. So basically, like I was saying before, with the High Priestess, based off of this card at the bottom, it was like asking for you to stop trying to rely on other people because you already know the answers. And that's what that's saying here. Like, you already know the answers that can take away the stress. Okay. I also see this as there are some secrets. So maybe in a way you might feel like the universe is holding back, and you very well might be right. And the only reason why that is because there could be a lesson attached to this that you need to grow through, and then it will be revealed. And I've also heard other readers say this on different aspects, like there is something that you're going through that right now it just doesn't make any sense, but then that's going to be later revealed to you as to why that has happened. And I feel like this is one of those cases. So we have the Knight of Wands here. Okay. So if you're dealing with someone who is very flighty, or they just can't keep their wee-wee in their pants, or their hoo-ha in their pants, you gotta see it for what it is and stop trying to bend over backwards for this person, because this person just doesn't care. You know, they for the streets. Okay. If this is not pertaining to someone who is romantically snagging your energy, then this could be talking about you going for, you know, taking that leap of faith and just driving home with your confidence. Like, you see that this is something that you really want. Now, I always say that whenever I see the King of Wands, he is someone that's about business. He's goal-oriented. He's a go-getter. And I feel that with the Knight of Wands, he's right on up there. He takes after his daddy. Like, he's like, look, I see this, I see you, and I want you. Okay, so that's exactly how this is. So if there is something that you're trying to go for, I think that you should go on ahead and pursue that. Now, let me see here. Take responsibility for your choices. This is your life to live. Own it. So I feel like you need to stop allowing people to baby you, and stop putting yourself in that position to where people can baby you. Okay. Because then they're going to develop this persona of you, of thinking that you're just this helpless person that just can't seem to figure life out. Don't let them put that on. I mean, it doesn't matter how they perceive you, but you are doing yourself a disservice if you're like, here's the paintbrush, paint me how you view me. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Don't give them reason to discourage you, is what I'm trying to say. And then we have the Eight of Cups. So I feel that this is you walking away from things that did not serve you. Okay, you've tried your hand. You've tried to taste everybody else's viewpoints, and it just did not work out emotionally. It left you dissatisfied. And again, if this is someone that is wasting your time with a situationship, you're eventually going to walk away. Even if they walked away from you, you're finally going to put it at rest. You're not going to try to pursue this anymore, and you shouldn't, because they showed you who they were from the jump. Okay? And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like if this is talking about, you know, a goal that you're wanting to accomplish and you're kind of second guessing yourself, I do see that this is asking for you to give it a go. Now, we have the Seven of Swords here at one point. that, you know, was going to make you feel like you're over your head. But I think that you're going to realize with this Eight of Cups that holding on to that energy is not doing you justice. There's going to be some type of epiphany or some type of breakthrough that is going to help you to be like, you know what, I made my decision. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do this. And you are walking away from things that no longer serve you, like that sitting here in depression of woulda, coulda, shoulda, and self-limiting beliefs, or constantly asking people what they think when they don't even know what the hell they want in life. You're walking away from all that, and you're going to go out and explore. You know, you're going to go out and see what's going to make you feel alive. And so we have another 8 here, the 8 of Swords, or I'm sorry, the 8 of Pentacles. And this is you working towards those goals, whether it is working on your talent, or this is saying it's time for you to get into action and get curious about what you are capable of. Don't allow what you see on social media or what you see somebody else doing. That's where the whole saying of keeping up with the Jones comes from. We're not paying attention. We don't give two shits about what's going on over there at the Jones' house. You feel me? We're worried about what's going on in Gemini's crib. You see what I'm saying? So that's how we're looking at that. So I think at the end of the day, I feel like you're going to, your intuition is going to heighten. You're going to know. You're just going to get this sense of awakening, and you're going to move forward. Like, you know what? To hell with this. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of always putting myself last. I'm letting go of all the self-limiting beliefs, and I'm walking away from it. And I'm going to start moving towards my goals. And I think that's exactly what you should do. So this right here could happen if you just realize what's underneath, okay? So let's go ahead and close this out with an oracle. Sweet universe, thank you so much for this reading. And what is the final message that you have for Gemini? Excuse me. So it says, you can handle this. There is a wise saying, you are never given more than you can handle. Tune into your heart and reconnect to your strength. Okay, so I also feel like with the High Priestess is your higher self showing you through certain circumstances. Like, for example, you could be looking at some birds and just admiring how they don't have to worry about the stresses of life, because everything that they could ever need is at their disposal because of God, you know, and however you view God or whatever, you know, I'm not trying to put that on you, but if there's a will, there's a way. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be ways that the universe is going to be looking out for you. It's just up to you to decide on whether or not you're going to forage for those goals. You see what I'm saying? And for those lessons. We have remember your gifts, and it says focus on your blessings rather than dwelling on adversity. Pause and give thanks for your gifts, such as your sensitivity, intuition, health, friendships, or family. So some of you might be late bloomers. It's okay to be a late bloomer. We have to get away from that narrative that if you are 25, you should be in a loving relationship getting ready to be proposed to. Or you're 20 or 35. There's no reason why you should still be living in an apartment with cats. You need to have your own house. We gotta get rid of that shit. That doesn't work for everybody. Nobody, I mean, a lot of people were handed a silver spoon and they don't understand that concept of what it's like to really work for things. Not knocking those, okay? But we working hard for our shit. Because I feel like when you work hard for it, you have so much more to appreciate. But also remember that before you obtain those things, this life that you're currently living right now is not so bad. Yeah, you may hate that neighbor. Yes, you may hate that neighborhood. Yes, your car might get on your damn nerves for all the times that it screeches and backfires. But for right now, be grateful because you could be out here in the streets. No roof over your head. Be grateful that you can afford a fan if you don't have air conditioning or central air. Be grateful that you don't have to commute amongst complete strangers, sitting beside someone that might be intellectually compromised in a way, and constantly being in fear of what could be next. You see what I'm saying? Like, God's looking out for you in so many ways. You just have to see it that way. Next, we have center yourself. It says, take a few deep breaths and regain your center. Now you can approach life from a more mindful place. Yeah, all of that. Walk away from all that negative talk. That's one thing that you are getting too old for. If anything, life is going to teach you that this world is not here to save you. But it is in a way, because the lessons that you learn through it, only those who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear and the mind to comprehend it and the heart to absorb it will understand it. But I could tell that you are very intelligent. So you should know better than to assume that this world is going to save you. Nobody can save you but yourself. And know this world is not personally out to get you. And it's more than enough to live in this world but not be a part of it. Make a name for yourself while you're in the midst of all this chaos. Be that light. Bottom of the deck, we have be a comfort to yourself. And it says, comfort is an inside job. Speak to yourself in a loving and positive way. Do something that nourishes you. And know at this moment all is well. So with that Eight of Pentacles, I feel like at this time, I mean, it could be a series of things, but at this time, based off of the Five of Cups, I do believe that you are currently depressed. And I think that you, first and foremost, I'm going to tell you, you're so loved more than you know. And it may not people may not understand where you're coming from. And I think that's only because you keep it bottled up inside. Please go and get therapy. Therapy does not mean that you're crazy or that you're weak. Okay, this is an opportunity for you to sort out your thoughts and to take these imaginary monsters, if you will, and place them where they belong, in the land of make-believe. Okay, So with people trying to put it in your head that you're this type of person, understand that that's a persona that they put on you because that's how they feel about themselves. Just because you don't see it doesn't make it not true. Okay? So I do think that this has a lot to do with the self, and this is also important for you to tackle so that you can get into the things that you want to do. Because if you don't think that you're good enough, then you're not going to feel good enough to go for that job that you're wanting. You're going to be timid when you really need to be taking charge. Okay? So, Geminis, that is all that I have for you at this time. If you enjoy the message, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below if you wish. Tell your friends about me. Hit that subscribe button. Yes, subscribe button, and remember this. When life gives you lemons, always keep it zesty. Take care. Bye.